everyone. Um, welcome, welcome back. If you're coming back and listening, or welcome to those that are listening for the first time to the Unscripted Pause. Um, Today I was thinking about just the uncertainty of life. I know it sounds a little doom and gloom. Not usually, not usually very doom and gloom. But if you just think about there's just uncertainty in all that we do, and if you think about like transitions, like I'm in this transition right now, right? So I quit my job at the end of December, again without having another job. Yes, I did that. I don't recommend that, but I quit my job at the end of December and started my own thing. So it's not like I'm unemployed. I'm self-employed right now, and but there's like all this uncertainty around it, right? Uncertainty around will I get some business with this new venture? Um, how soon will I have some money coming back in? Yep. Um, all kinds of questions, and even as long as I've been working and to think that, I mean, I knew I was quitting my job and knew I didn't have another one. So I did know what I was doing. And so, but there's still all these unknowns with that, right? And there's unknowns, even if you just kind of take the professional career piece out of it, just and look at like relationships or just anything in life, like everything we do is unknown and everything we do has a certain level of uncertainty to it. And I think for the most part, most of it, I don't think this, I know this, for the most part, we are used to that, right? We're used to a certain level of not knowing and a certain level of uncertainty because it is just part of life. And there's a lot of, there's so much nuance to life, and there is so it's complex on one hand, but then really simple on the other. And so there's all this uncertainty and all this unknown that we just kind of accept and go through with life every day. But then there are these times when we do something, you know, like leave a job and step out into something else, this uncertainty with not knowing what the next step looks like, not knowing what the next day is going to look like, what the next week, what the next month is going to look like. The thing about working for someone else is there is a certain level of certainty, right? With the exception of, if a job, if a company goes bankrupt, right? There's a certain level of certainty, and even that shouldn't come as a surprise, right? But there's a certain level of certainty around I'm going to have my benefits. I'm going to get a check every week or on the 15th and 30th, whatever it is. There's a certain level of certainty. You don't even question it, right? I just know I have automatic deposit. My check would show up on the 15th and the 30th. And so I didn't question that. And then I'm in this position now where it's like, okay, I don't, and I was telling somebody this the other day. It's like, I paid bills according to my, the check came in. Oh, must be time to pay some bills. And now it's like, oh, I don't have a regular check coming in. It was like, oh, I think it might be time for me to pay some bills. I might need to do that. And so we could just kind of go through life with a certain level of surety and certainty, and then we get into sometimes these positions where it's like, oh, I don't know when another check is coming in, or I don't know when I'm gonna get some business. I don't know what's gonna happen. And so it is like, oh, but but there's a but. Well, I usually say my thing is kind of like, but God, girl, but God. But I'm also saying there's this thing around how do you look? Everything is about how you look at it, right? what is your mindset about it? And I think I'm not a person who really gets into mindfulness, but if I think about that in terms of what I'm talking about, there's this idea of just being in the present moment. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where money's coming from. Yeah, I don't know. But I am having such a sense of joy, like really such a level of joy. And I don't want to exaggerate and say like a level of joy like I've never known before. I'm not going to exaggerate and say that because I hope, oh God, I hope I've had some this level of joy. But there is such a level of joy. Oh, and a friend of mine said she's been listening. She was like, "You sound free, like there's freedom in how you're speaking." And I do. She's right. I feel a level of freedom that I maybe haven't felt before. Like I was thinking like I can write whatever I want to write on LinkedIn. Like, because usually, I mean, I just don't post a lot of things on social media. It's just kind of not my thing. Um, but usually I would be like, I got to be mindful of what I post because I'm representing an organization. And I always think I'm representing an organization 24/7. So I always have to be mindful, even though it's my LinkedIn page or my Facebook page. I'm always like in the back of my mind, but I have to be mindful of my employer. And now I'm like, oh, I am the employer. I don't like I the level of freedom, and really, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say joy. I'm like, ooh, I see. I'm gonna love retirement. But there really is this, and this can only be God, but I feel like I have such a sense of peace around for somebody who doesn't know when, you know, who needs to be getting some money coming in regularly. Um, I I am joyful. I feel free. I have some peace. Let me tell y'all, I have some peace like somebody would say I probably shouldn't have. But I do. I have a sense of peace and I have such a sense of freedom. And when I first recorded these videos, with the first video, I said, oh, I'll do it once a week. I think I have recorded every weekday, maybe not every weekday. But because one, recording these videos brings me a really stupid amount of joy. And I don't really know why. I can't really even put my finger on that. Um, so I don't know if it's about the talking things out. And I'm just like, if people watch, people watch. I'm not trying to monetize, monetize. Not trying to monetize this. I still don't think I'm saying that right. Yeah. I'm not trying to do that. Like I'm not trying to make money. No, let me just say, I'm not trying to make money off of these videos, unless a company wants to send me something for me to review and then do a video. I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna do that because Lord knows I would do that. But that's not what this is about. And I just want to hope that, oh, this is it. This is it. Like, I want to give a little bit of joy. Like, the joy that I'm feeling, the peace and the freedom that I'm feeling, oh, I want to share that. Like, I genuinely want to share that. I'm just realizing that's why I want to do these videos. That's why I'm getting joy out of them. Um, and so I hope that if you do watch, that you're getting something out of them, that regardless of the situation that you're in, that you can find some kind of joy in it, some kind of peace in it, some kind of freedom, even if it's a matter of when you go to work, there's a certain coworker that you just love, that you just love to see, that you just love saying good morning to because they're always so kind and friendly. Yeah, let that feed you. Find small things like that that just feed you. Like I talked about the man that I see at the park in the mornings when I walk. Whoo! The amount of joy that gives me when I see him. I saw him today, by the way. The amount of joy that brings me. So, as you go through the rest of your week, your day, whatever, your month, whatever, look for the things that just find you joy. Because nobody is saying you need to quit your job. I'm not saying that, not by any stretch. because I think you can find it just in what you're doing. And if it's not in your job, then it's somewhere in your personal life. So find it and then take it in and let it feed you. All right. Until next time, thank you. Bye.